Principal Mrs Chetty and the Deputy Heads. It's really a pleasure to come back and to come to a place where there are origins of where you've come from that I think sometimes you must never forget, because as much as you progress in life, you always need to understand where did you start, and it's very important to start off with that. I think when I was asked, to come and speak today, I thought of, what is it that I could share that maybe can help you, but it's not just for students, it's not for the grade of 24 or the coming 25. But I think, Mr. Chetty, it will also be for your team. It's also for the parents that are here. Because I just want to share a few things that I think, and if you have a pen, please take some notes if you're students, because I'll give you 3 things which I want to share with you that can help you in terms of success. Now, you probably read many books on success. You've probably heard many things of success. And there are many people that are always coming up with something great. You probably maybe been on TikTok and there's a new person on the block saying something on success. But I can tell you that what has been, what is currently happening today, and where we're going into the future, the approach of success basically remains the same, okay? It's about the person that is going to take this and go forward. So I'm going to give you 3 simple things that I think is going to help you and make you change your mindset as you progress. The first thing, which is very simple, and it's the way I'll say it is probably going to be, but it is so simple why you're saying it. Success is based on an equation that is input plus process equals output. Simple. Input plus process equals output. And you're going to ask yourself, but wow, there's nothing dramatic in what you're saying. But it's in the way that you're going to approach it. I mean, if I ask you this morning, you got up, how did you plan your day? There's a concept that is called of stacking your day. Was it haphazard? Did you plan? Anybody went for a run this morning? No. Nobody. Anybody did their morning devotion? There's a lady that did their morning devotion, whether you're in your different cultural beliefs. That's stacking your day. That's important. Anybody was grateful this morning?
Yeah.
That's good. That's a nice routine. Anybody was angry this morning? Okay, not all at the same time. But why I say it is, what you put in and how you start on your input is very important. And as the class of 24 and as the class of 25, you're actually going to go into a space where you're going to be challenged, and really the input of what's going to be in your life is going to be so important. And then it's about the process. How many of you will make a curry, throw all the ingredients at the same time, and hope that within about 20 minutes, that lamb curry or that butter chicken or the dal or whatever is going to come out perfect? Never. And I'm not a specialist cook. My wife is with me here, Lynette. She joined me this morning. And if you watch how you have to cook, there's a process. I'm not going to go through everything in the process, because suddenly now Mr. Chetty is going to ask me later on to stay across and probably run your home economics class. You still have those? No. Okay. I'm not up for that post, okay. But you've got to, starting from the oil and all the ingredients, and when you put in your potatoes and when you put in the meat and all these things, it's a process. So when you go through the input of how you take stuff in and how you process it in, let me tell you, the output of success is a natural outcome. Many people are so engrossed about, okay, I want to achieve this, I want to do this. You're hoping that you're going to achieve it. But if you haven't put the effort, now there's some you're going to see the awards. You think you started the year in 24 and said, I'm going to watch all the Premier League soccer matches. I'm going to watch all whatever sport. I'm going to stay on TikTok the whole day. I'm going to stay on Facebook the whole day, and hopefully by some miracle I'll end up at the end of 24 and I'm going to pass pretty well. Nobody did that. Well, if you did that, then you're pretty smart, okay? But nobody does that. You spend some time and you did all of these things. So that's the first point. Very simple thing. Go and plan yourself and understand what's the input that you're getting into your life, how do you process it, and you'll have a natural outcome. The second point is also a very simple thing for you to understand, but you actually, coming out of school, I was, Mrs. Chetty, I think in 1988, I was 17 years and 2 months in February, okay? I was a 17-year-old in 1988. Who's 17 here amongst you? Right? You're 17. Hey, we were the same age, okay? So, at 17 years old, and remember, in 1988, Mr. Chetty, we didn't have things like leadership conferences. We never had things like, log into social media and you can get some people speaking. We never had all these things, okay? But now, if I could give you advice, and I'm going to give you something that must stick with you, whether you're a student, whether you're a teacher, or whether you're a parent that has come here, because this you only learn as you go later on in life. And it goes like this. Success is not dependent on the accumulation of abundance, but on the quality of scarcity. I'm going to say it again. And write it down somewhere, because it is a very important thing as you start as a 17-year-old, or as an 18-year-old, or as an 18-year-old plus. You're going to leave and go out into the world out there that is going to offer you so much. Success is not based on the accumulation of abundance, because you want to have everything. You just want to go now, I want to buy the new sports car. You just want to go now, I want to get the latest fashion. You want to go now and you want to, stack up all the stuff that you want. But let me tell you, life has got a funny cycle. As you're young, you want to get everything and accumulate. You can ask my wife. The other day we were saying, hey, we don't need such a big house. We need a smaller house, okay? We don't need so many things. We are happy with less. And the tragedy of life is you embark on life, even as you're just leaving school, or you're now going to start your matric here, on this mentality of the more I have, the more I'm going to be happy, and the more I'm going to be successful. Focus on fewer things, okay? It's normally said on your hands, if you have 5 good networks around you, 5 good friends, 5 good people that you listen to that's giving input to you into your life, 5 is enough, okay? There was a program when we were young, the program used to be called 8 is enough, okay? But nobody will know. I'm just on a side note, I was on the team the other day. We were busy sitting in a boardroom, getting through everything, and I'm giving the team targets, and I'm saying financial targets and safety targets and all of these things. And I ended the meeting and I said, this looks great. And then I said, I love it when a plan comes together. And I thought, I'll get a nice reaction to the rest of the team. Who remembers that? Not your time, Mrs. Chetty? You must have remembered it. Yeah. Who remembers a program called the A-Team? Yes. No. You see now? Yeah. Annabelle and Face. You see, that section there is my section. Yeah. Okay? This section here, I don't know what you're busy with, okay? But this section here is my section. Because PA Baracus. So I made a statement with my team, and I said, hey, you know what? I love it when a plan comes together. So I looked at my team members. Hey, blanks on their face. I said, guys, what's wrong? Don't you remember how you make these plans? But coming back to what I'm saying is, write that down. And as you embark, so I can't differentiate. Are these the grade 12s this year? And where's the grade 12s of last year?
In between.
Oh, where's your hands up? Yeah, just let me identify you so I know where you are. Don't learn early, okay? Learn, have fewer things. Learn, don't put stress on yourself that you want to get everything so fast. Take your time, okay? But focus on the quality of scarcity. 20 years later, 30 years later, you will remember that, and you will remember that somebody was speaking in front of you, and you will remember that watch the quality of what you have. The third thing is that, success is a very simple recipe that I want to share with you, that my wife and I share, that we share in our family, is that there's a very simple thing that's very applicable. And again, it's not rocket science. So I didn't come up here to tell you, you know what, I just want to give you the most simple recipe. You do these 1-3 things, you're going to lose 10 kgs. No, I'm not that type of person. You get all these type of people that tell you, do 1, 2, 3, this is the latest stuff. No, we are still back to the basics of what life is. Okay, don't make it complicated. So the recipe for a successful life, for me, is based on a few things. It is based on your faith. Now, we're a multicultural society, we're a multi-ethnic culture, and I like what Mrs. Chetty spoke about early on. You've got to have some connection into a faith-based approach of who you are. We make jokes sometimes, and we normally say, hey, you didn't fall from a popo tree. Okay, who's heard that one? Okay, you see, the young people wouldn't know this. This side section here is probably knows this. We just didn't fall from popo trees, okay? We fell from a source. So, the first one is, if you want to be successful, understand the nature and the connection and the covenant that you have with the source of where and how you function, right? That's the first part, faith, okay? The second part is you got to understand that as much as you have the faith in all of these things, you need to understand the authenticity of how you would live, right? We get many things flooding us that tells us this is what it looks like. But can I tell you, don't fall into that trap. Youngsters, that you're going out right now, don't fall into the trap that everything there, that what you see, looks good on the outside. You need to shape and form your own authentic path of how you're going to live. And when you focus on the authenticity of who you are, you will have less stress. The biggest thing today of a very stressful life is trying to be somebody that you're really not, but you're putting the image of what everybody expects of you. Be in your own lane, okay? Be yourself. Make sure that as a youngster, as you're imparting here, and even if I speak to much elderly people, and even if it's a bit too late to go back now, take that now, where you are today. Stay in your lane, okay? Don't worry about the people on the other side. Be happy where you are. And if you can focus on that authentic nature, you'll be fine. Another part, which is very important, very applicable as I came here today, to be part of your success journey, is about honor. Now, it's a word that sometimes, I travel a lot. I also go to a lot of schools, the company that I work with, because where we are, we're very close in the Bluff area. And I'm busy with 5 schools, and I go across, and when I speak to the students, I normally ask them, talk to me about honor. And the aspect of talking about honor, I see there are students here with their parents. You have to have honor from the point of who brought you here. Honor from a perspective of who brought you here and who was with you. And do you honor them 20, 30, 40 years later? You're just embarking on a journey out of grade 12. Some of you may have parents, some of you may have guardians, some of you may have an aunt and an uncle, some of you have a very trusted and respectable neighbor or a friend or a community leader. But 10, 15 years down the line, if you don't bring the honor into where you've come from, you will start progressing further where honor will never come to you. So as a youngster, you need to understand and honor your teachers. I look at the faces of the teachers, they're so proud. I forget the teacher was in front now, welcoming us. You were here saying a few things. You can see the pride and joy of just being a teacher. Let me tell you, the most underestimated, and I can say this, and the most undervalued career. I'm in a corporate, I've worked for the biggest corporates in this country. I've been in the most senior roles, I've been in the highest forms of boardrooms, and traveled probably to every part of this world to sit and have meetings. The most undervalued role, but it doesn't mean of the nature of where you as a teacher, maybe you're not getting the recognition. But let me tell you that somebody is going to sit under the shade of the tree that they will never know who planted it. Okay? So to the teachers, even though I came to speak to the students, I just want to encourage the teachers that you have multiple branches covered across the earth. I'm a product of being under the shade of this school, right? So I can obviously go out into the corporate world and make sure that I had sufficient shade as a youngster, as a 17-year-old in 1988, taking care of me so that when I left this place, it was going to be that I will be successful. Okay, so I spoke about the equation, which is very simple. I spoke about focus on the quality of your scarcity. So I gave you faith, I gave you honor, I gave you authenticity. The other ones, which is applicable to all of us, and it's something that I go around and I also speak, my wife and I travel and we speak at various places, is two simple things that is really underestimated of you understanding what it means. It's very simple. The first one is discipline, and the second one is consistency. Discipline sets the boundaries of where you should function to have the element of success. You have to say no many times, even though you have to say yes. The power of no for you as a youngster, you're going to start going up. Youngsters now, I don't know which institution you're going to, what you're going to do, what careers, you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to run your business, you're going to do all of these things. If you don't learn early the discipline of saying no, that means you'll say yes to what everybody wants and you will lose yourself. Have that discipline to understand the power of no and set your boundaries. I asked this morning, how did you stack your day? My wife will tell you I have a routine that will stay with me, even whether we're here, even we're on holiday, and even whatever it is. It's a routine to get up in the morning. I have a view of me to say, catch the sun before it comes, and make sure you say the sun by before it sets. Okay? Simple routine of discipline. Catch the sun before it comes, and make sure we have a simple rule at home, which we try to, I don't know whether it's an old cultural rule, but you got to be home before the sun sets. You know that? Where's the parents? Do you tell your kids that? I still had that in 1988. My wife still had that growing up. In fact, it must have been more serious with her than with me. Her mom and dad was much more serious. You be home. You youngsters, there's a time, okay? You may be finishing grade 12. You may be the ones that finished grade 12 last year. But get into the habit. You see, the lady there, is your child there? Where is he? Or she? Does your mom tell you that? Okay, is your dad next to you? Oh, okay. Does your mom tell you that? But we grew up like that. I grew up like that. My wife grew up like that. Mrs. Chetty, you grew up like that. Okay? There's a discipline that is now becoming, I can do whatever I want. I can go wherever I want. I can say whatever I want. Because nobody asks me anything. There's no accountability. And the consistency is about you understanding that if you don't have consistency, you lose momentum. I will do the same things every day of my life, for 365 days, every day between 4:30 and 6:30, every day, my routine is exactly the same. I will get up, I will go down, put the kettle on, get my cup of green tea. I have to make her coffee, take the coffee up, make sure the dog is fine, bring him down, check on him, do my devotion, make sure I spend time early in the morning from a faith-based approach to get the right energy, because I don't know what I'm walking to when I get to the office. I don't know what I'm walking to for the rest of the day. I'll make sure I'm fully armed for any battle that is coming for me in the day, because you don't know what you're going to face. Okay? So, I'll keep that routine and make sure you need to develop your own routine. Okay? So, that's the 3 points that I want to speak to you. There's another one that I use when I speak in the conferences, and it goes like this. Okay? I will never get to a point where I've arrived, because I will never get to a point where I've ended. Youngsters, never get to a point where you feel you have arrived. And you'll never get to a point where you ended. So, I will never arrive, I will never end, and I will never surrender. Yeah. And if you have that mentality as a youngster, now Mr. Chetty, I can tell you, and it's with all respect to our teachers at that time, I must compliment our teachers, because if I look back to what I know now, and I had teachers, in a sense, giving me this message in 1988, we had that message. I look back and say, wow, those teachers in 1988 were fantastic. Mr. Vijay Modley was the principal of the school. Now, I just heard he's still alive. Was the principal of my school. He was my biology teacher. We used to sit upstairs there on the biology teacher. Okay? He used to sit with us. His daughter was in matric also with us. So he used to coach us and tell us, guys, you need to be like this, guys. Listen to this. Watch this. I'm very proud of you. Please. The principal used to have direct input on us. I just said Mr. Bachin left. Okay? Hey, when we were youngsters, remember, you walk into the parking lot, and when I say you, probably the teachers may laugh at me. We used to walk, and his green BMW was parked there. The only teacher I knew, now I don't know why I wore white shoes today, but he used to come to school as a teacher with his white shoes, and he's dressed up so nice. And I remember those days, once or twice, I think Mr. Bachin even wore a pink shirt. Yeah. But it was fashion that time, right? We had Mr. Bachin, we had Mr. Vijay Modley. I'll have a pink shirt, by the way. It's a nice shirt to wear, okay? Mr. Bachin used to come in the parking lot. Hey, we saw him, he taught accounting. Yeah? He always used to tell us something. Hey, kids, watch this, watch that. We stand there before you walk and get into your class. He'll give us a few things, and he will tell us things. The physics teacher, hey, it was hard to read him sometimes, but he was okay. Mr. Rajkumar. He was our form teacher in grade 12. Okay? So we sat in the lab. He's still downstairs there? Okay? I sat 3 rows from the back in the lab. First desk, second desk, third desk, one in the corner. That was my seat. Okay? I don't know. Mr. Rajkumar had his own way of doing things. My geography teacher was Mr. Pillay. We were upstairs there in the corner. Yes. Is he still around? No, he's late. But he used to give us good advice. Okay? What I'm saying today has never changed. That's what I'm trying to tell you, youngsters. Don't go out now and look for the next recipe of there's something new there you want to learn. I'm telling you things that in 88 was told to me, probably not in the way I'm giving it to you, but the same thing was told to me. Our maths teacher, Mr. Naidu. Hey, MK, yeah. K Naidu. I used to walk with his glasses and he used to come, get on the board and write. We used to make jokes with him. I'm sure you make jokes with the teachers also. Where's all the grade 12s? When the teacher walks out, you're also making your own joke. Who's the maths teacher? Oh, the maths teacher always used to walk out and used to crack the jokes on the maths teacher. I don't know what good jokes they're making on you, Mr. Chetty. But Mr. Naidu was Our Afrikaans teacher, now I wasn't too good in Afrikaans. Afrikaans was my least favorite subject. But Ms. Tangovelu always made sure if you want an extra 10 minutes, Ms. Tangovelu will stay with you there. Who teaches Afrikaans? You're teaching Afrikaans. So, because Afrikaans and me did not get on so well. I like the maths and the physics and all the other stuff, okay? And I think we had Mrs. Isup, we had Mrs. Singh, we had Mr. Vayat. Where is he? He's the only sole standing person that I remember closely. You came just 2 years after that, right? And so Mr. Vayat was still operating in those days. We saw him now. Hey, he's still operating today. Okay? So Mr. Vayat was, and his character is, where is he? I don't see him here. Huh? Oh, he's gone to mosque. In those days also he went to mosque. He's going to mosque today. But he says the same, okay? Things don't change so drastically. Don't go out here and watch everything and get yourself hooked up on all these trends that's going to make you a spy for it, and you're never going to achieve it. You must ask, I came to the school, so where did you stay? Well, I was around the corner from you. You get up in the morning only to realize that there's some challenges now where I used to stay. It's in the area. But I get up in the morning. Who can guess which road I stayed in? Not far from here. Which road? Because those days, you said you're either from 13s or the 15s or whatever. People thought today if I say that I get to work, I say I'm from the 30s, they think I went to jail. Okay? That's how we actually spoke to each other. I'm going to the 50s, I'm going to Sunford, we play cricket there. Hey, I'm going to this unit. Anybody here? Which road do you think I stayed? I lived right around the corner here. Huh? No. So in the morning I used to get up, dress myself, put my bag on, start walking from Floral and come across onto Eston, come across onto Northcroft, come across. We either use the front entrance, no, not this one, the other entrance, or there were two entrances, one on that side and one on that side. I really use this one, okay, because you come the other way. But it was fun, it was good, and I can end by saying, and I want you to now go home and write this for yourself as a youngster, that your script for success has already been written. I want you to believe it. I want you to believe this and write it and put it into yourself. Because if you don't, let me tell you how the world treats you when you go out there. This is how tough it sometimes becomes out there. When you don't put a price tag on yourself, people start bidding for you at the lowest level. And as a youngster, when you go out there, that's what I'm telling you, put a label on yourself. The success of my life, the previous grade 12s going out now. You're going to go into university, you're going to meet people and do all these things, right? Put that label in yourself. The script for my success is written. And you know what the script says? Which I knew in 1988, that no matter what happens, I will be fine. So you got to write that and believe it, okay? And all you got to tell yourself that I'm going to be fine, that I will improve on my next chapter in the story, okay? I will remain in the story. I will find the best co-stars in the story. And finally, I am going to make sure my story is a blockbuster that everybody wants. Thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure speaking. And I want to wish students of 25, students of 24, that you're going to be highly successful because you are at the right place, at the right time, with the right people. Thank you.